Welcome to Freedom Fridays. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Remember Mr. Rogers, right? Let me go ahead and get my notes. Uh-oh. Where is it at? Here it is. Let me get my notes so I can get us started. Um, I had to restart my computer, hoping that would fix my technical difficulties, and yet it is not. It is not fixing my technical difficulties. I had some technical difficulties earlier this morning, and I knocked on some wood, and that clearly was not enough to fix the problem. That's okay. Let me go ahead. Let's get started here. So, today's topic. This is absolutely no time to fake it to make it. I know we made that our default, but yeah, we got to stop doing that. I'm learning to stop doing that, to stop faking it to make it, because most people think that the best way to shift your belief, to shift your life, to like do things to finally get to your dreams is by willing yourself to believe it. And don't get me wrong, belief is part of it, but it's not the whole equation. If I am wanting to shift from being a strong Black woman to really being a soft Black woman, it's more than just willing myself. It actually takes a bit more than belief. It takes this bold statement, bold clarity, bold behavior change um, to make it happen. And the first step out of it is, which is really the boldest part, is to stop pretending you're fine in hopes that you'll actually like figure out what is it that's specifically missing. Like overall, but like what are the specific things and how do I want to make shifts around that? This is everything that Jaiyé is about. And it's important to me because it's everything that I live. I'm not just, this is me sharing the thing that has really changed my life from feeling like I'm always on, feeling like I always have to be the responsible one, to really receiving and making space for softness. So, um, my note got cut off. Let me finish it from over here. So yeah, um, I know fake it to make it has been the way that we've pushed through, but if we truly don't want to push through anymore, if we really want to take hold of and receive that soft life that we know we deserve, then we got to stop pretending we're fine and do something a little bit different. And tonight I want to talk about it. So yeah, that's today's topic. If you haven't already, go ahead and grab your drink. If you are new here, welcome. I am Rashidat, your dream. Well, nope, I don't say that anymore. I've gotten so used to saying it. I am Rashidat, your lifestyle coach. That is all about helping you learn to fully enjoy life, not just when at work. Because us ambitious women are really good at getting things done, at winning at work, at pushing through, at doing all the things, but we're not always as good at resting and really stepping back and enjoying life. And I'm all about helping us shift that. So if that is you, welcome. I'm excited for us to have a good conversation tonight. Let me go ahead and get our intro started, and then we'll jump in, celebrating our wins. Uh, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Oh, where did my window go? Here we go. We'll celebrate our wins together. Play. That's cute. Let me try to get a little more comfortable. Say that my camera is not working. Yay. Hey, Megan. Happy Friday. Hey, Keena. Happy Friday to you, too. It is always so good to see you, ladies. Welcome to another Freedom Fridays. As always, let's start by celebrating our wins, y'all. Listen, and Keena is bringing out the big drinks today. She said, listen, today I'm sipping on a gin and tart cherry juice. Listen, did you know that tart cherry juice is really good for helping you sleep well? It's like getting the melatonin, y'all. It's bomb diggity. So listen, you add that gin to it. If that sounds like you getting real mellow, you're gonna sleep real good tonight, girl. I'm into it. I'm into it. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and start celebrating our wins from the week. I'm gonna think of mine, and I would love for you guys to share yours in the chat so I can celebrate your wins with you and celebrate you. So go ahead and take a second and think through what you want to share. Listen, what am I sharing this week? This week was a very interesting week. Ooh, I know what I'm sharing. Okay, what day was that? Tuesday. Tuesday, a couple things happened. I made a new friend. He's just a friend, but he seems nice. And it's nice to have like friends from the opposite sex too. So, um, did we go to lunch on Tuesday too? We did go to lunch on Tuesday, and it was a good lunch. So yes, that's my first one. Made a new friend. Went to lunch. It was good. The second win from this week. Um, on Monday, I went to this cafe called Eliva Cafe, and I had stuffed falafel, and it was warm, fresh pita. That was like this amazing olive oil and spices, but the spices and the olive oil was separate. And then they even gave me a couple olives. Now, let me tell you, I usually don't like olives. I actually think olives are pretty disgusting. But these olives were fried in salt water instead of like oil, because I don't like them in oil. Oh, it's so gross. But brine in the salt water, y'all, those olives were a bomb. I always said they only gave me three. So I might have to try. I might have to go back over there again because it was absolutely delicious. Delicious. So, yes, that's my second win for the week. Let me see. Keena said, win, journal each day, each week, which helped me stay focused and motivated. That is an amazing win. Journaling is so amazing. I know, Keena, I don't know if you're doing it on the computer or doing it like physically writing, But there's something about journaling and writing with a nice notebook and a pretty pen and allowing it to help us slow down to like really process our thoughts and see different things come up and then write them down is my absolute favorite. Come on, Kina. That's an amazing, amazing win. I love that. I love that so much. Um, yes. Okay, good. So good. Let me see. What's another win from this week for me? Listen, my next win is that y'all, I have the next 4 days off. Ah. That was the clouds parting and heaven singing. I'm so excited to have the next 4 days off. Listen, my mascara is burning my eyes today. Listen, my mascara, my face is like, listen, we can't wait to have the next 4 days off. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna wear makeup, but yes, I can't wait. Cannot wait. So that's my last one for the week. I'm excited about all of it. Oh, I do have one other win. Well, you know what? I'll wait until I receive it and then it'll will be the next win. So okay, Megan said, awesome wins. Yay. Thank you, Megan. Keena said, I write in cursive now. My vocabulary kicked up 7 notches. Girl, actually, I really do love writing in cursive. And I love when I have a good pen and I'm actually being patient. My handwriting comes out so pretty and I'm so proud of myself. And then once I started learning calligraphy, my cursive got even better. So I'm with you, girl. There's something about like taking the time to do it. And it's just, it's like an art. It's really nice. It said my vocabulary kicked up a few notches. Hey, I understand. Like getting a chance to write and like really take our time is absolutely amazing. I love it. Kina said, days off is always a win. Yes, girl. Absolutely. These are the first. So remember, I took off days in March, but those were just my regular off days all mushed together, which meant that my days before and after were crazy. But this time I was like, no, we're not doing that. So I had off on Monday and Tuesday. Then I worked Wednesday, Thursday, and today. And then I'm off for the next 4 days. So I'm not going into the weekend completely tired, but like it's only going to take till tomorrow, and then I'll be back to normal, and I'll feel good, and I'll be able to enjoy it. Like I'm sleep good tonight, especially because it's cooled down a bit here. I'm gonna sleep good tonight, and then I'm gonna be ready to enjoy my weekend. I cannot wait, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. So yes, thank you for celebrating my wins too. I love it. I love it. If you guys have any more ones you want to share, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I would always love to celebrate them. If you are catching on the replay, I would love to celebrate you and your wins as well. So take a second and drop them in the comments. I would love, we come back on there and say, hey, girl, congratulations. That's amazing. So don't hesitate to share your wins so that we can celebrate them with you. Okay. Megan said, wins. I enjoyed this whole week off of work. Come on, Megan. Yes, taking time off for your birthday, boo. I love it. And I still have this Sunday off before going back to work. Yes, girl. You said, listen, Sunday is the day that I like off the most. So I'm going to add two of them, not just one, but two. Come on. Number two, I got in some good rest, fun, and exercise this week exploring Detroit, which is so exciting. I'm glad that it's like warm enough to not feel like you're about to freeze to death when you go out up there. I just don't know how people live up north anymore. Now that I live down in the south, I just can't handle it. I can't handle it. I don't know how people do it. I love it that you made it out, Megan. That's so fun. Number three, consistent meditating. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, you're going on 4, 5 months at this point. Before you know it, it's going to be a whole year. I love it. 168 days meditating. What? Yes. Because that's over 4 months already. You're well into, listen, you're, yeah, you're over 6 months now. I had to do the math in my head. That's amazing. Come on, Megan. Get it, boo. I love it. Congratulations. So many good wins, right? I agree. Kina said, "Great wins, Meg. Great wins. I love it. I love it. I love it. So good." Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing, ladies. I appreciate it. You know, it's time to give out some stickers. So if you are claiming your sticker for this week, it's super easy. You just put hashtag STICKA in the chat. And how do you claim a sticker? You claim it because at some point this week, you prioritize time for you. Listen, I had to do that yesterday. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it when we get into the topic. But yes, prioritizing time for you, no matter what it was, no matter how long it was, 30 seconds, 30 hours, prioritizing time for you is so important. And I want to reinforce that. I want you to be like, oh, somebody is getting excited. Somebody is what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, rewarding. Um, when I hate that and I'm having a brain fart. You know how when you're at work, they try to give you, get excited about, oh, you stayed late or you went above and beyond. To hell with that. I want us to get excited about the fact that you didn't stay late, that you prioritized yourself, that you took an extra 10, 15 minutes at lunchtime for you, that when someone asked you to do something, you said, I would really love to you, but I have time scheduled for myself right now. Whatever it is, I want to give you a sticker for that. So if that's you, go ahead and put hashtag sticker in the chat. And then I'm going to go ahead and get that on the spreadsheet. We are officially into May. April actually didn't have that many showers, but you know what? It's going to be in May. Is it starting to? It did a little bit of rain in these last 2, 3 days down here, but not much. But we're officially into April. April showers bring May flowers. If you are claiming a sticker, hashtag sticker in the chat, and then I'm gonna add it. Oh, we need some stickers, Megan. So whatever suggestions you got, I'm ready for them. And then after we give out some stickers, then we'll go ahead and jump into today's topic. Today's topic is going to go two different ways. I know what I originally wanted to say, and then I also know something that happened this week. So I'm going to share both perspectives, and it's going to be awesome. I love it, Megan. Okay, Megan's got a bumblebee. Let me add that. Bee. Okay, that's the first one. The next one is a bouquet of flowers. Flowers. Yes, this one right here. And then the next one is a bluebird. Hey, Mr. Bluebird. Blue bird. Where you at, Mr. Bluebird? Bluebird. Okay, maybe I just need to put bird. Oh, it doesn't want to give me a blue one. Okay, we'll do this one then. Let's do that one. And then a lollipop and a little doggy, a little puppy. A lollipop, 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 lollipop. Okay, and then a dog. I love it. And look at you not discriminating to only do kitty cats. Thanks for including all the lovely pets, Megan. Megan also claimed a sticker, so let me give out. Oops. Let me give out some stickers here. Okay, there we go. We gave out some stickers. If you if you're watching the replay and you want to claim a sticker, you can claim a sticker too. Just go ahead to um the comment section and drop hashtag STICK. And yeah, you'll get a sticker as well. Okay. Okay. So today's topic, let me get back to my notes for a second while I'm getting us started. Okay. Um, the topic today, what if pretending you're fine is making things worse? And I really wanted to talk about this. The first part, I wanted to talk about this in the context of being an ambitious woman, because when you are ambitious, sorry, that was a really long pause. When you're ambitious, we're supposed to be excited that like we're accomplishing more things, that we've been able to be the strong one and still be alive, that we're on to the next one. Like we're supposed to celebrate those things. But a lot of us know, and it's coming out more and more conversation, that on the inside, it's like, but is this it? Like, there's like, when do I ever get to the part where I can enjoy all the things? And so the people around us from the outside see us succeeding, see us doing the thing. And other people are like, wow, how are you doing that? And on the inside, we're like, wait a minute. I mean, I'm doing some stuff, but I'm not doing what I want to be doing. It's not quite there yet. And while I'm saying the phrase pretending we're fine, I think a lot of us aren't intentionally pretending to do anything. It's just kind of happening. It's just that everyone from the outside, it's that we don't necessarily believe that we have to show our pain or vulnerability to every single person. And yet that doesn't mean it's happening. Um, so I think the other part of it too, though, is like most people aren't going to ask someone that they think is winning at life, hey, are you doing okay? There are some people, and I think some people are really learning to do that. Um, but yeah, I think it's also us choosing when we're not fine to speak up. And I think that's the part, at least for myself, with the not pretending. And it's not even, here's the other part about it. I don't ever wake up and say, or I don't ever step in front of someone. And when they ask me, hey, how am I doing? That I intentionally put up, that I intentionally avoid or don't give an honest answer or don't go give a deep, vulnerable answer. Because it's not that I'm trying to be dishonest, but it's like, oh, I just don't expect that you truly want to know. And yet, it is so important to have people in our lives that we know truly want to know and seek them out and tell them when we're not fine. We might not tell everybody when we're not fine, but we should tell somebody when we're not fine. And when we do, we start to let the people around us know that this is one of the places where I need you to show up and love me deeper. And in these specific ways, like show up for me in ways that I might not have asked for before. Um, Otherwise, they just continue to think we're fine. They continue to not ask. They continue to think everything is going exactly as planned. And on the inside, we are wanting so deeply to be seen, and yet we're still not allowing ourselves to be seen. Y'all, can I tell you that has been, it was me. 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 So yeah, the way that I started moving my way around that was choosing to put myself out there to a couple different people and seeing how they respond. And if they made space for me, then I kept doing it. You know, I kept telling those people, I kept leaning on those people and also making space for those people to lean on me and allowing it to grow and evolve from there. So, yeah, Megan said, for me, I don't tell people I'm not okay because they probably don't actually care, or I don't want to pile on someone because can they even actually help me? Well, here's the thing, we don't know if they can actually help us or not until we be vulnerable enough to say it, right? We don't know. And I think that's the hard, like, double edged sword to being vulnerable is like, I don't even know if this person is the right person for me to tell, but I will never know if I never try, which was the other side of me of choosing to take a step back and look at, well, who can I try to be vulnerable with and share when I'm not okay and see how they respond. And sometimes at the beginning, while you're looking for your circle of people, we don't always get it right. Sometimes we think they're the right person to open that space, that level of conversation, and then we find out they're not. And that's sad and it's hard. And yet, um, this takes trying, just like everything else. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen at the snap of a button or a click of a button or a snap of a finger. Like we have to try. We actually have to try, you know? And I can tell you from experience, that's hard. Some people won't receive. Um, and I will say, in my experience, I've had more often than not where I've tried to be vulnerable with someone and I realize they're not the right person. And yet it helped me refine who I was looking for and to better pick people who were actually willing to be that shoulder for me, you know? So yeah, it's not it's and you also have to realize there are levels to this. Like you were talking about piling on someone. I don't believe we should be emotionally dumping our problems on someone else. And I think the difference between emotional dumping and like an emotional release, emotional dumping is putting responsibility on someone else to figure out your shit. It's not their responsibility. They can listen, they can ask you questions, they can help you process. And sometimes they can't even do that. Sometimes all I can say is like, man, that absolutely sucks. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. And sometimes that's really all we need. But it gets over to emotional, that's emotional releasing. Whereas it gets over to dumping when you're like pushing someone to ask you to give you an answer for your life. And that's nobody's job but yours. Nobody can make those decisions for you. God can't, your therapist can't, me as your coach can't, your mom can't, your sister, your relatives, your friends, none of us can make those decisions. We can give you different perspectives and help you talk through and figure out what's going to be help you decide what's going to be the best decision for you. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about piling on. Well, obviously, we're not intentionally piling, but in the concepts of the difference between the two, that's what I found. Um, and I think more people care than we give ourselves a chance to actually realize. Sometimes our timing is off. Sometimes it takes a little bit to build that relationship. Sometimes it takes a little bit of giving them space to open up to recognize that you're even wanting to create that space. Sometimes we're being selfish and we're just like, I want to dump on you. And they're like, I'm sorry, I don't have the space for that. All of those things are a part of it, which is why you need more than just one person to be vulnerable with. Or I know I need more than just one person to be vulnerable with. Because if it's a lot for me and they still have their own life, to hear all of mine plus their own life, that's a lot, you know? So sometimes this person is good for talking about this person is good for talking about that. This person is good for like when I'm in the moment, this person is someone that I can process with later. Like there's all these levels and dynamics, and this is the other reason why we have to start trying. It's like dating. You don't figure out the details of like what is really right for you until you start trying to like get out there. It's the same thing. It's just how we build relationship and how we find people that can make the level of space for us that we need. So let me know if that makes sense. Like I said, or if you're typically the person who has all together, some people won't know how to act when you're not at your best. And that is absolutely right. There is definitely times when everybody is so used to us being on all the time that when we're not on, it shocks them. And here's the thing, let it happen. The whole point is letting them see that you are just as human as they are, that you need just as much support as they are. Otherwise, the more that we keep up the facade, or the more that we don't bring them into that space that actually I don't have it all together all the time, that's part of the pretending. That is literally part of the pretending. Like sometimes I have learned, listen, I have been practicing bringing out my white woman tears. Not in the exact woman way. I'm being a little dramatic, but um, yeah. Whereas I would be like, oh, I will never let these people see me cry. Now I'm like, you know what? I need someone else to know that I'm human and I need support right now. And sometimes it does shock people. And that's actually a good thing. Let them be shocked because then it reminds them that you are human and you need support too. So I say that, and I had literally one of those situations yesterday. I was at work, and 2 days before, yesterday was Thursday, Tuesday night, my dad has been in the US for the last like 2 months, but he came back to Atlanta this week. And on Tuesday, he's like, I want to talk to you. And I was like, oh, okay. So he comes into my room to talk. And I didn't really know what he wanted to talk about. I was assuming it was going to be about his birthday party in Nigeria because I'm not going. And I had already told him I wasn't going. And I thought that he was going to try to convince me to go. So that's what I thought it was going to be about. And then he's like taking his time. And finally, it comes out that he's trying to convince me to have kids. And I was like, what? Like, we already talked about this. I'm not having kids. And he was like, no, I think you were joking. I think you thought I was joking last time when I asked you, when are you having babies? And I said, hold up. No, you thought I was joking when I told you I'm absolutely not having children. So it ended up being a bit of a fiasco. Like he was being a bit manipulative, stormed out of the room a couple times. And then he is like, well, are you a lesbian? Do you have a medical issue? And I was like, no, none of those things. I just have decided that I don't want to have kids. And not only that, there are plenty of kids in my family. Maybe not on his side, but there are plenty of kids. I have 21 great nieces and nephews and three great great nieces and nephews. There are kids galore. I have no need to pop out kids. So that was Tuesday. But I just found myself on Wednesday being so angry. And then Wednesday night, they let me know that they were leaving to go back to Nigeria today. And so yesterday morning, I'm at the gym and I was like, oh, I should do something to celebrate his birthday before he leaves. And I was trying to think what I was going to do. And I was like, oh, I don't even know if he likes cake. So in the midst, I asked my brother, does he like cake? And I was like, okay, maybe I should get a card. And I think about putting my baby picture in the card, and it hits me why I was so angry. I was angry because how dare this man, who I don't really know. Yes, he's my father, but I did not grow up with him. I don't really know him. And yet he's sitting here pretty much demanding that I have children because he wants children, because he likes children. And he just really wants me to have a child. Now, granted, my father is turning 80 years old tomorrow. No, Tuesday. And I'm looking at the picture of me and I'm like, how dare you demand kids from me when you weren't around for me? You missed your chance. Like, I was the chance that you had and you dropped the ball. Why in the hell would I go out of my way to give you kids? Like, are you serious? Grandkids, you've lost your mind. Now, I'm smiling now, but I was so angry yesterday. I couldn't help but bawl my eyes out. And I was at work by this time because I had to get to work. And I was trying to pretend I was fine. I was literally trying my best and it was not working. Everything was just making me more upset. And finally, I pulled one of my coworkers aside that she's the one that I talk to the most at work. And she's heard like some of the situations that I've been through with my dad. And I was like, she's like, what's wrong? Because we had just came out of a meeting. And she thought that I was upset about the meeting. And through like sobbing tears, I tell her what's going on with my dad. And she's like, oh my gosh, like when I say I was bawling my eyes out, I was absolutely bawling my eyes out. And I think if I wouldn't have processed it yesterday, I'd probably be crying right now. And I wasn't actually sure if I was going to get through this without crying. But here we are. But while there's a huge part of me that in the past would have never let that happen, I would have gone in the bathroom. I would have never let anybody see me cry. I would have never let anybody know that anything was wrong. I finally was like, no, I need somebody to know that hurts, that I'm going through some stuff, that I'm human, that I need space today. Like I need to fade to the back. I need space to process. And the two women that I talked to, they didn't like do anything special, but they kept an eye on me all day. They made space for me to duck to the back. They would come back and be like, you all right over there? And sometimes that's just all we need, you know? Or it's at least the beginning of what we need. But if I would have continued to pretend that I was fine, nobody would have even known. Or if I would have just shut down, they would have thought that I was just being mean and moody, not really understanding what was truly going on in my life. Sometimes we just gotta, it's not we just gotta. Sometimes it's a hard choice, but sometimes the choice to allow someone else to come in spaces like that is really beautiful and starts to show the different dynamic parts of who we are and allow someone to make space for that. So, yeah, when I first chose this topic, I didn't know that that was going to be a part of the realness of this week's story. Yet here it is. Let me see what Megan said. Um, yeah, Megan said, crying is an automatic reaction when I get upset or frustrated, and I hate it. I completely understand. I used to get so angry that I would start shaking. Because I was trying my damnedest to hold it in. And I don't don't know exactly what happened, but I finally started choosing, like, listen, this is how I feel. And I think also too, like allowing our emotions to be shown, to be seen by others is a part of softness. It's absolutely a part of softness. If we say that we want to be soft, us to be served, allowing us to have needs, allowing us to be human, allowing others to see that part of us is part of being soft. It's absolutely part of it. And it's hard because we're used to being hard. We're used to the hard knock life. But I don't want the hard knock life anymore. I want the soft life. And if that means I gotta cry in front of somebody, then boo hoo. Okay. Um, Megan said, that's crazy. It didn't even occur to me until you said it that he's probably trying to make up for the mistakes he made with you. I think that's part of it. I also think that it's the Nigerian way. I think it's Nigerian culture. I think it's patriarchy. Me and my best friend talked about that. I think it's when we talk about, I talk about not letting cultural expectations from parents, from grandparents, from brothers, from sisters, from outside perspectives push us to live a life that we don't actually want. This is a clear example of culture trying to force me to live life that I did not choose to live. And I'm like, no, it's fighting. This is me choosing and sticking to my choice. Absolutely not. Hey, Marissa, welcome. So glad you're here today. Megan said, it's good that you were able to have your coworkers to lean on. It was really good. And let me tell you, there was part of me that they've never seen me upset like that. They've never even seen me upset at work. Um, so that was, when I say complete shock from what they're used to seeing from me, they probably didn't even know that my tear ducts work. And yet yesterday, I was bawling. By the time I got done, there was makeup on her shirt. I had wiped up off my all my makeup. I had to go put it back on. Um, yeah, it I let it flow. I let it go because I was like, I can't. I don't. I'm tired of trying to be strong all the time. And right now, I need to be cared for. But I had to open myself up to allow it. And that's so hard for us as Black women. One of the women was white and one of them was Black. And that's hard. There was another Black woman there now. I didn't open up to her. So I'm not saying you have to open up to everybody. Most of the people that do feel safe, of course. But it's okay. It is okay to open up and let yourself be seen. Kina said, in my former profession, being surrounded by men, I wasn't allowed to cry. But I did anyway because oppression is hurtful. Exactly. And if our tears make you uncomfortable, then they're the ones that need to change, not you. Your oppression is hurtful. And sometimes they don't even want to acknowledge it until you literally show the tears. I'm like, nope, then you will see my tears. I'm not going to hide them from you because I need you to know what you're doing is absolutely hurtful. I actually thought about writing my dad a card and like telling him how I felt, but I was still very angry. I was still very angry. So I ended up not writing it because I didn't think that I, as I got ready to write it, I knew that my energy wasn't in the right place. I do think I still want to tell him. I haven't decided, am I going to tell him in a text message or if I'm going to tell him on a voice note. And I'll probably journal it out, like exactly what I want to say first. and then I will go back and say it to him. But I'm gonna come back to being surrounded by men because that's the other part of this too. Patriarchy says that, women can be seen, not heard at work. And if we choose to be heard at work, then we're crossing the line and we're asking too much and all of those things. And that's all patriarchy. And I'm like down with the effing patriarchy. So I'm like, again, like, show up and say what you need, man. I'm down for it. Like if you gotta cry anyway, do it. I'm about it, Kina. Do it in your former profession or in any other profession that ever. I hope that never we don't ever have to be in professions that bring that out of us. Even though sometimes it's just life. Like this is life. It's not that work brought that out of me, but life brought that out of me. That there's space, no matter where we are, whether at work, whether we're at home, or in between, for us to fully be able to be soft in any and every moment of our lives. Like that's that's when it comes to saying like we deserve rest, we deserve to be soft. That's what that looks like to me. That I don't have to pretend that I'm not fine in any situation. Like I get to be real and say I'm not okay. So yeah, Megan said this is actually such a timely topic for what's been going on in pop culture and just world news this week, which is crazy. I wish I could say that I did that intentionally, but that's Jesus. I'm glad that the topic is right on time. And I do really hope that it's helpful. I honestly wasn't sure if I was how this was going to go. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to share this conversation about my father and end up being extremely vulnerable right here, right now. And that would have been okay too. That would have absolutely been okay. Because, yeah, I want to live and model what I believe. And yeah, I'm not trying to hide it behind doors. Like what he said was hurtful. Was hurtful. That you pretty much skipped over me to want to have kids. And I'm like, nope. And here's the other thing, Megan, even if he was trying to get me to have kids to make up for um the time he missed with me, I have three younger brothers. Did that not make up for it? Like how does this work? Right? Like there's nothing about it. Nothing about it was okay. So yeah. That being said, I'm glad that I took the opportunity to stop pretending I'm fine and to really allow the people that were around me to show up for me. And I hope that you make space for that as well. So, yes, if this topic was helpful, I would love for you to consider joining Jaiyé with Rashidat. This is just one of the topics. And I go a little bit deeper into some of the tools that have helped me open up and really make that transition from being that hard knock life into soft life. Um, Making space for me to receive softness and make that transition. So if you're interested, you can hit me up on Instagram and we can chat and see if it's a good fit for you. Or you can go directly onto my website and sign up at iamrasha.o.com slash Jaya. So yeah, now that we've talked about today's topic, ladies, it's time to wind down for the weekend. Yes, listen, it's actually my weekend. I'm off for the next 4 days. Yeah. Which is good because my computer wasn't trying to connect to my my camera today. It was acting up this morning. Listen, everything is like, girl, take a break. And I'm like, yes, boy, I'm going to take a break. You just trust and believe. So, yes, I hope that if you're not winding down right now, I hope that you watch this again when it's time to wind down for the weekend. But for right now, we're winding down. And the first thing that we do is to look at your devices, look at your tablet, look at your phone, look at your laptop, and see how many windows you have open, see how many windows you can close as an act of emotionally decluttering so that you can make more space for the things that you really want rather than the things that you don't want, you know? Let's get those. And here's the thing, all these tabs, you can save them. You can save them for another time. Listen, this girl, I wish she would not talk so loud. Um, that being said, see how many windows you can close and you can share it in the chat. If you got all your windows closed and check your email, see how many emails can you delete so that you can get to this place where none of these things are running in the back of your mind. You can actually get to a place where you're making so much space to receive the things that you want. Listen, I am making all the space to receive. Oh, that was another win from this week. I forgot making all the space to receive my tiny house that I listen, I'm telling you, I'm winning this tiny house. The drawing is being drawn on June 3rd. This is another win, a completely different win. Um, this week on Wednesday, I had an early day at work. And so afterward, I went and drove to three locations looking for places to park my tiny house. And I did find one location. I don't think it would be a long-term location, but it would be a good temporary location for when I win my tiny house when the drawing is pulled in June. Can you hear my manifesting talk? I'm talking like this thing is already mine. I'm already doing steps like it's already mine. I'm not playing. So yeah, that was another win for the week. The first location, it wouldn't allow me to put my tiny house there. They only did um houses that were bought through the company. But the other one, you could bring your own. You could just rent the spot, and it was like 625 a month for like water and sewage and all of those things. So yeah, I was very excited about that. I was like, I have a place to park my tiny house. And in the third place, I went to look at. They were on foundation tiny homes. I did not. The tiny home neighborhood itself was cute, but the neighborhood surrounding the tiny home community was not that great. I was like, ooh, I don't think I actually want to live over here. So I was like, uh, that's not going to be an option. But I would have had to buy that specific tiny home anyway because they're not on wheels. So yeah. Um, Keena said, I see your vision. Fingers crossed that you get that tiny house. Come on, Keena. Thank you. Listen, I'm manifesting it hard. I'm like, listen, I'm wanting that tiny house. So I took it even a step further. And one of my coworkers used to be a realtor. So she still has realtor friends. So I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Do you have someone that you suggest? And she connected me with someone. So I reached out to her today and we're having a call on Monday. So I'm like, this is for me to find land so that I would have somewhere to park the tiny house. And with the land, my plan is that I win my tiny house. I live in it for like 6 to 9 months, and then I buy my own custom tiny house, and the one that I win becomes a rental property. And then I'll also have two other spots available. So it'll be like a quadruplex tiny house cul-de-sac type vibe. That's what I want. So I want enough land to have a tiny house cul-de-sac. Oh, I think that's going to be the name of it, tiny house cul-de-sac. So yeah, we're going on Monday. So, or we're going to talk about on Monday looking for land for me to buy for my tiny house cul-de-sac. I really like that. I actually might go claim that on Instagram. Yes, I love it. Megan said, I closed a bunch of tabs earlier. I think about 10. I also deleted more emails, only 482 left. That's still progress. That's still progress, Megan. I love it. Megan said, come on, manifesting your tiny house win. Come on, y'all. Thank you. Listen, I was like, oh, this is a good one. I forgot about that. I got to make sure I share that. Find land in a blue state. The thing is, I like Atlanta. Atlanta is probably my favorite city outside of California. And I don't, California is too far from my family, from my grandmother, my 98-year-old grandmother, and my 80-year-old mother. Um, yeah, I get it though, Kina. I just don't, I don't, my favorite city is in a red state, sadly, sadly. But yeah, um, but maybe if enough people find land in a red state, enough people that look like us find land in a red state, then we can make it a blue state. Maybe that's the other way, but yes. Okay. So I added in a win there, but we also did our first step to winding down for the weekend. Second step is to choose your fun meal. And then the third step is to choose your fun activity. So your fun meal, my fun meal for the weekend. Oop, I'm gonna have to call him back, boo. Um, my fun activity for the weekend. I thought about going dancing tonight, but I couldn't. I couldn't find any keys. I wanted to go to Kizomba, and I couldn't find anything tonight. Um, I haven't decided what my fun activity. Well, I know I'm going to. Um, well, it's supposed to rain this weekend, so I'm not sure. That's going to throw it off because my fun activities once it starts getting warm is all about being outside. Um, and this guy was just calling me about a date, so I'm sure that'll be something. Can you tell I don't have that answer yet? But I know I'm gonna do something because I'm off for the next 4 days. Come on, y'all! I can't wait. Fun meal. I think that I'm definitely gonna walk back to that cafe and have another round of stuffed falafel because it was absolutely delicious. I might try something else, but something like that because it was my plan was to get the falafel as like the appetizer and then get something else. And y'all, it was so delicious and filling that I didn't even have enough space to get in my belly to eat anything else. So yeah, um, yeah, it'll be something like that. If you know what fun activity you're doing for your rest days, let me know. If you know what fun meal you're eating, let me know. You might give me some good ideas. I also have to go pick up my truck. I had to put my truck in, take my truck to the mechanic the other day. That's one fun activity I need to do. I need to start posting my truck on different auto sites so that I could try and see what interest I get for selling it. Because my old Ranger is evidently something that people would buy. My mechanic asked me about it today. I should have asked him if he had somebody who's interested in buying it. So yeah. Oh, I don't know why I deleted your message, Kina. It was before I could read it. Megan said, I was supposed to go to the movies with my cousins tomorrow, but I don't think that's happening. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll just go by myself tomorrow and Sunday. Hey, I might go to the movies by myself too. You know what the best day to go to the movies is? Is like Tuesday or Wednesday. Those are the cheapest days, but we missed out already. Dang it, because you were waiting for Saturday. But yeah, that's another good time to go to the movies. So yeah, just go. Just go on your own, girl. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. So no matter what, I hope you have fun. Well, ladies, this has been fun as always. I love when we get together on Fridays and have a good time. Keena said, I think I'll have chicken and waffles and watch some movies on DVD. Listen, are you gonna make ghetto chicken and waffles or bougie chicken and waffles? Cause I'm down for either one. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I think I'm gonna make pasta. I made some pasta last week and I enjoyed it so much. Um, so I might do that. I know tonight I'm definitely having popcorn. Megan said, but you know what? I'm also kind of tired, so I might just go home and pass out. I might not have any popcorn tonight. But Megan said, I usually do go on Tuesdays because it's only $5 and free popcorn. Listen, yes, that's the best time to go to the movies when it's $5 and free popcorn. Are you serious? I'll be going to the movies every Tuesday. Or Tuesday would be the only day I go to the movies. I'm into it. I'm so into it. I love it. Yes. So I hope you guys, yes, have an amazing week. Do something fun. I hope you get some good belly laughs. Um, I hope that you get a chance to share some vulnerability with someone this week. Um, and I hope you take advantage of it. Even if you have an opportunity, I hope you take advantage of it. Megan said, enjoy your 4 days off, Rashidat. I'm a little jealous because I need another week off. You're so funny. You just had a whole nother week and a whole week off and you still jealous of me. You are hilarious. I hope you get some more time off too, y'all. Megan. Okay. Have a wonderful week. I will see you soon. See you next Friday, okay? Make sure you take a second to share this live stream with someone else. And thank you for taking a second to like. I always appreciate you. That helps YouTube know to share this with other Black women who might be interested too. All right, y'all. See you next week. Next week, I'll have my camera together.